It's on the aperture of.
Going left
It
right
is.
now.
So there's a shallow depth of field. Excuse me.
Oh my God, we're live.
There's
Hello.
a shallow depth of field that we should talk about.
We're
here.
very silly today. At least we have been very silly up until now.
I will I will continue
this
to
is
be
a serious stream.
No.
We're very silly. Whoops.
Well done, Lily. Lily's also silly.
Oh, I also have.
You've got it on
here.
your fucking
I
device.
want to look at the Lily. I think if there are any questions, you have to tell me in the comments because I can't read the comments. Is that okay? Okay. All right. So sorry. Hello. What was I saying? Grief part 2. We did a little stream about a month ago now, I think, where I told you guys about my mother's death and sudden death, and I got a lot of reactions to it. I think my whole family watched it. Friends of my mom watched it, and a lot of you watched it, and a lot of people want to know how I'm doing. So I thought I'll give you another update. But before I do so, I want to tell you that in IAMX world, a lot of really, really, really exciting things are happening. This Thursday we'll do a live stream, in which we will announce things. I don't know how much I can say, but anyone watching
Say it
this,
all.
anyone that loves this man and his music, will be excited to hear what we will announce. It'll be a separate stream because this stream is more about my grief and an update on where this all is and stuff. So it is more a mental health thingamajig. But this Thursday, is that right? This Thursday? Yeah. This coming Thursday, we will announce juicy things, lots of things. In the meantime, you can go get the pink Kiss and Swallow vinyl if you haven't done so yet. What? Oh, is that the camera? Okay. Yes. Hi. Okay, so that's the stuff that I wanted to get out before we start because I'm excited about it. Life goes on, right? Right?
Mm-hmm. Do you want to talk a bit about the grief, though?
Yes.
Or you just want to forget it now? Okay.
No, that's why I'm here, right? Okay. Yeah. So I don't know where we left off last time. I think it was still fairly early. My sister had just arrived, I think, and she stayed here for 2.5 weeks, and that was really, really helpful, wasn't it? She really helped me make all the phone calls and make decisions, and yeah, it really helped me just to get out of bed every morning. It was really good. And then the good news is that after about 4 weeks after they died, I think last week sometime, my mom was finally officially positively identified, which seems like a very long time, but it actually wasn't in hindsight. It's just that how would you know what the process is like identifying somebody, and how many offices are involved, people, they might be backlogged and all of that, like the whole process, and nobody explains that to you because the people that are doing it, they're just doing their job. They're not there to explain to you how it all works. So that was quite stressful. So I thought, okay, I will give you guys an update when I know she's been positively identified, because before that it was just limbo. So now that is the case. Both have been released from the medical examiner, both have been cremated. That all happened, and that happened on Friday, and which was 2 days ago. And then on Tuesday we will finally receive the death certificates, which is which is what we all need in order to, you know, for everything, really, especially over in Germany. Now that they've been released from the medical examiner, they're not in the hand of the US anymore, because now it is official that they are German citizens. So now everything will be handled with German offices, the consulate, the you know, shipping them over, getting them through customs, blah blah blah. With them, I mean their earns, and so Germany, and I guess anywhere in the world, but Germany loves bureaucracy. So without the death certificate, which in German is called Sterbeurkunde, and the short version is SU, so we call her the Sue. Without the Sue, we can't do anything. Meaning, you know, officially they're still alive, so that their phones are still being paid. Everything's being paid for still. Everything's still running. We have no access to any bank accounts or anything like that. The will, the notary, whatever, those boring things that I'm not interested in, but that need to be done.
I mean, you've been every day, still continuously, like, dealing with all this stuff. There's four siblings, right?
4 siblings, yes.
And pretty much everybody has been kind of full on, right?
Yeah, pretty much. None of us has been able to work, except my brother, and I don't know how he does it. But I think he only paused maybe 3 weeks or so, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. He's a teacher, so then he went back to school. And the others we're not working at, which that has been quite hard for me, I think, not being able to work, because I work with this guy, and and I was just kind of taken out of the equation, and I care, as you guys know, I care very much about my job and about what we do here, and it's very important to me. So it's been interesting to not be able to contribute much. Although I have to say, you and Lily both say that I am still contributing.
Yeah, we have to force you into it.
Yeah,
but that's, once you're in it, it's the same as it ever was. But I think mainly you really need the time to process this, and it will only be beneficial for you to have that time. I already see you changing in a way that is very powerful.
Yeah.
Towards because I think your contribution to this will be much better. Right? Yeah. I mean, that sounds weird. That this event has kind of created a big psychological shift in you.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think so too. I really focus on the essentials, and that can be quite a powerful thing, because it's easy to get distracted in everyday life by all the little bits and bobs here and there. But when you really can't concentrate much, and I don't know, and also when you're faced with death, you see what's essential today. What you know, I go day by day and I look at, okay, what needs to be happening today, and then I try and make it happen, and not be a pussy about it.
It's amazing how
I am in bed most of the day, though.
Well, yeah, but your communication, your relationships, it goes straight to the heart, right? When there's this kind of crisis, it just makes you deeply appreciate what you love in life, and it's horrible that things like this have to only things like this create that in most people. What I mean is that we should be living like that every day, without, you know, not with the fear of death, but with the idea that death, you know, to live with that. Because then you live fully, right? If you could die at any moment,
yes,
you would see what is important, and you would live that fully.
or if someone you love could die at any moment.
Yeah,
You know, is
yeah,
there something?
which is the truth.
It is the truth, yeah, and I'm very aware of that right now, and I'm very lucky because I really was at peace with my mom and also with her husband, and so yeah, I agree, but I also think that you can't imagine it. You know, you
Yeah,
can't
I know.
you can't you can think of someone you love and be like, what if they died? Yes, that would be horrible. If they died right now, it would be horrible. But what is it I would want to tell that person? I mean, you can do it. One thing I really, really, really love, and I find quite hard to do, but is it's called a gratefulness letter, I think, or something like that. And it's something I have heard about. I did this, there was a free course online by a professor, a woman, I forgot her name, but you'll Google it, I know you will, about happiness. She studies happiness and what actually scientifically makes us happy. And it was very, very interesting. And one of the things was writing a letter to someone and writing down what about them are you grateful for, and then reading that letter to that person in person. They said you can do Skype because it was during Corona when I did the course, but they said it's better to do it in person, read it directly to that person, and that person will probably cry, and you might cry, and you might think that's just the most awful situation to put anyone in or myself in, but it creates tremendous happiness, and that has been proven. And I think that's such a beautiful thing, and I was actually ready to write that letter to my mom. And I might still do it, but I need to first kind of be stable and all of that. But because I think you can do it also if someone's not around anymore. You can go somewhere to a place, a quiet place, and read it to them, and it will still help. But what I mean is, this is a good way to give to someone while they are alive, and to really show them what they mean to you.
Absolutely.
And it makes both parties super happy, apparently.
Yeah.
I think it's such a beautiful, powerful thing.
Hello. Question.
Yes.
Meryl Herder asks, was that Dr. Lori Santos?
Yes, Dr. Lori Santos. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, I think she's awesome.
I mean, gratitude is very powerful. It's a similar thing to compassion, right? So there are these sort of big words that as soon as you implement them into your life, they just instantly improve things.
Yes, and you can practice them.
And it's
so
practice,
amazing.
it's skill, it's happiness. You know, it's all practice.
Yeah, and it's yeah. Anyway, you guys take it or leave it, whatever.
But I've seen you. Like I see you overcoming those feelings that you have every day. I see you redirecting your attention to the good and to the positive and to the love. I see it.
You're right, actually.
All the time.
Yeah. You're right.
And that's created by you were more so like that before this, but it's accelerated a lot, I think, even just in the last few weeks.
Interesting that you say that. Yeah, I think you're right. I think the way I'm coping right now, at least, is I take one day at a time. That really seems to be helping, because it puts less pressure on myself. When I try to stay strong, which can also include to know when I need to go to bed and just rest, even when it's bright outside and sun is shining. That also includes being strong. I don't mean not grieving, but to just kind of be honest with myself. Can I maybe do something? And that could be, walk the dogs or vacuum the house, or because even though the feeling, the heaviness and the sadness don't necessarily go away, I mean, they don't go away, doing something, life goes on. It does go on, and that is the truth. So it feels, even though I don't do things for the sadness to go away, because I know it can't go away right now, and it probably will never go away, it feels more real to do something. It's just, I just can't do as much as normal at the moment, because I have a really blurry brain. I can't really concentrate much. Yeah, but I do always focus on the, what did you say, the strength or the love.
Yeah, the positivity, the
Yeah.
good, the love.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's important to, in times of extreme stress, to know how to retreat, right?
Yes.
So that in itself is a skill
Yes.
to
Yes.
protect your well-being. You know, you can't just always sort of push through. Hey, because that just leads to burnout, and you have to know how to. I mean, we know that. I've been through that myself.
Luckily, we know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I no, I agree. It's
Sort of knowing to get the balance there, when to get up and go for a run, or when to sit down and rot in bed, as they say.
Rot in bed. I mean, I'm not good at rotting in bed, but
Yes, you are.
am I?
You're pretty good at
Yeah?
that. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, who isn't?
I always thought I wasn't, but maybe I am.
You're very good at rotting in bed. That doesn't mean that you don't do an incredible, intense, compressed amount of work when you're not rotting in bed. Or maybe you just do.
Or while I'm rotting.
Or while
in
you're
bed.
rotting in bed. I think a lot of people do that, don't they? A lot of people are remotely working and rotting simultaneously.
Oof, I don't know how healthy that is in the long run, but yeah. The dogs really help. The dogs are amazing. The dogs don't care how I feel. The dogs want to go on their walk.
They've been incredible, right?
Yeah.
My cat friend, my new son, is definitely helps me a lot. I mean, I have some secondary grief going on, so I've got him to jump on my balls in the morning every morning to wake me up. That I hadn't really planned for.
This
with
is how
with
you
cats.
wake up now.
It's literally like, oh,
Oh, he's awake.
oh my God. I didn't know that was a thing with cats. And he's gone, so you can't grab him and say, hey, dude, like, don't jump on my balls.
Are there any questions from people?
You kind of answered one. Jen
Yeah.
asked if the new pets are helping.
If the new pets are helping, yes. I mean,
Ha-
the new pets, the
fully.
old pets,
Yes.
all of them are just incredible. Oh, look, I found his spot. I found his
Oh, God, there's always a spot, right?
Yeah.
And that's his.
Where is it? Where was it? It's somewhere
Back there,
here on
back
the
there.
neck.
Yeah. There it is.
Yeah, it's really, really helpful. Really, really, really helpful. And just putting a smile on my face a lot of the time,
Yeah,
because they're
yeah.
just so silly. And it's nice to have this puppy energy, but it's also really nice to have the older dogs.
I thought you were pointing at me then.
This puppy energy.
It's nice to
It's
have
very
this-
nice
this
to have this
puppy
puppy
energy.
energy.
Kind
Yeah.
of true.
Yeah, today we're a bit silly, which is weird, but that's also part of grieving, isn't it? The humor and the ridiculousness of everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wanted to mention one thing that I think I hadn't that only came to me a few weeks ago after the last stream, that this Eckhart Tolle thing that there's there are many clips where people ask Eckhart Tolle questions, and there was one clip where, because he is kind of enlightened or whatever you call it, but he's always good, right? He's always he just is. He's an interesting character. Anyway, so someone asked him, so what if you lose someone that you love very much? Like, will that affect you? And he says he says that yeah, of course, at first you are sad and you grieve that person, but then you but then you come to a place where you say, well, this is, he always calls it the isness.
Yeah.
This is just what is. Um, uh, we always tend to think it could have been different, but the way he sees it is, they were always supposed to die this way. They were always going to die this way. That was always going to be how their lives end. Who are we to think that this could have been any different? We don't know anything about that. So this is just what is. It's not like, it doesn't mean their life was planned out for them by some God in heaven. It's not that. It's more like, that's just what is. So we can come up with all these stories like what could have, should have, blah, blah, blah. The point is that's what is, and that is kind of, I find that really, might not be good at explaining it, but I find it really soothing if you really go there.
I mean, that the isness is a basic concept to mindfulness, right?
Yeah.
It's all about accepting what is. He just puts his kind
Just
of
being
weird,
with it.
yeah, a being rather than doing, right?
Yeah.
And isness is quite a quirky but like grounded way to describe it.
Yeah.
I like that. I
Yeah.
think it's exactly what it should be.
Yeah, and it really takes away this, you know, whatever feelings, anger about maybe the person that drove the car, or the people that plan the roads, or the people that warn the public about weather occurrences or whatever. Whatever it is, you know, because no, they couldn't have lived longer. They couldn't have died a different way. That's what was, and that's all we have, right? That's all we know, and that's what is. So I really think it takes away all of those things that we make up in our heads, and projections and all of that,
yeah.
right? And
Anger, revenge.
Yeah, and that really, really helps me, I have to say. It really helps me stay sane. All I have is right now, and I will make the best out of now. That's easy for me, because that's what anyone that I love or that loves me would want.
But you see what this crisis creates. It creates like a purity of thought.
Yeah.
And if only the world could live like that all the time, there would be no need for revenge, for war, for
Yeah.
you know. I know it's ridiculous. Sounds totally utopian, idealist. I don't mean it like that. But in small ways, you can implement
Yes.
compassion and isness and gratitude all the time if you really want to.
Yeah.
But often the times we're overpowered by our emotions unless there is a true crisis going on. And I mean, I don't want to suggest that we should always live in crisis to be like this, but you can definitely learn from it.
It humbles you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a huge amount of humility
Yeah.
going on, and it takes you away from the self a lot, right? You think it's like, oh my God, I'm so sad, but in the end you start to feel much more love for others, and
That's true. Yeah.
want to help others, and
That is really something that makes me feel really good, because you really know what's important to you. And for me, really, the first thing was I just needed my siblings to be good, and their children, my nephews and nieces, and I still feel like that. And then I obviously had the urge of talking to you guys, for whoever needs it, but I just knew that a lot of you had asked about grief and how to deal with grief, and were really struggling with dealing with it, or feeling lonely in it, because, you know, it's not talked about often, and certain things are expected from you. You have to go back to work, or you shouldn't lose yourself so much, or whatever. That's all, you know, that's hard if you don't have enough support while you're grieving. So I really felt this. It's almost like it's my essence, and I always knew that, but it felt like a confirmation.
yeah, confirmation.
Like I really, it really, I get off on helping people. Basically, is what I'm saying.
You do. sometimes the other sort of expectations and of others gets in the way. I'm not saying for you, but one.
Oh yeah.
You know, altruism isn't perfect. You can't.
Oh no, it's not altruism. It makes me feel good too.
Yeah, exactly.
I get something from it.
Is,
it's not just selfless.
I think that is the truth of altruism.
Yes.
It is for the self, and
Yes.
there's lots of people that have talked about the idea that selfishness is the only true way to help everybody else.
Yes, I think there's a lot of truth in that.
It's been distorted, obviously, in people like Trump, and it can be distorted to the right. No, that's a serious thing, because there is like a thread of literature that have talked about pure selfishness as the best way to be always, and even to the extreme of like murdering people. And it's I think it's Anais Nin. He's a terrible, horrible writer, but it kind of leads to this kind of ugly background hum of right-wing thought.
So they use it to their advantage, or
well, one could argue that it's just a transition. You know, like democracy is rubbish. That pure selfishness on every level is going to lead eventually to the best outcome for everybody. That's the idea.
I think that's a longer discussion.
I know.
Then we have to define what is pure selfishness and how does it, manifest and all of that
Well,
stuff.
it's just living every need, every desire, every urge. I don't believe it. I think it's a stupid way to be, but
yeah, it sounds a bit like a gimmick to me or something. I mean,
the literature is interesting.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really apply to what we're talking about. But we went off on a little tangent there. But it's definitely interesting.
Yeah.
And I mean, personally, I do. We all struggle with our urges and needs and desires to be completely ourselves, right? And to be accepted as ourselves, but we always put these blocks in our way, and it's like, how many blocks do you take away to be purely at peace with the beast?
At peace with the beast.
At peace with the beast.
Woohoo! I love it.
If that's even possible.
At peace with the beast. No, I mean, I yeah, how did we get there? What did
Don't know.
you do
I like
there?
to do
Where
that.
did you go?
I'm just in a mode.
Is there anything you guys would like to know that would help you? That you, I don't know, anything you guys need from me while I'm here?
Can I read a nice comment while
Yes.
we wait for questions to come in?
Yeah.
From James Zamuda, he said, "Kudos to both of you for sharing your time, feelings, and experiences. You are setting a hugely positive example for people to speak and share rather than suffer in silence."
Thank you, Jim. James Smuda.
Thank you, James.
Smuda. I heard the last name, and I think sometimes he goes by Jim Smuda. That's. I just remember names. I don't know why. I just remember names and birthdays. Random. Some birthdays I remember.
All birthdays.
No, not all. Many. Thank you. I agree. Talking about it is so much better than suffering in silence, and it's such an interesting thing, isn't it? I don't know. It's just why wouldn't we talk about it? Well, why not talk about this rather than the news? Or this is so.
This is life.
Yeah, it's so intense.
It is real.
And so real, and so I really see a lot of. Don't get me wrong. I still have to do the funeral and all of that. So I might not look like as together as this next time we speak, but I do feel a lot of kind of the drive and positive thoughts about, I don't know, when I think about my mom, I think about all the things that I will do and think of her and all the good stuff that's there to draw from, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's I'm like, yeah, okay, bring it on. Let's do this. Let's turn it into something powerful.
Yeah, she was an extremely strong woman
Yeah.
and inspirational to you in that way, right?
Yeah.
To sort of,
In that way, for sure.
she would want that of you.
Yes.
Drive, go forward.
Yes. Yes. She came to every IAMX show she could possibly go to, by the way. And him too. Yeah, they were like, we parked at their house often on tour.
Tour bus.
Yeah, and they would cook for us, and we would make a bonfire, and they would give us the most wonderful wine and cook the most wonderful food, and just incredible people. So with all their flaws, but just all that's left is the goodness and the weirdness, and but that doesn't make it easier to deal with in the long run. But we'll see. You know, it's everything at the same time.
Step by step, day by day. I know it's uncomputable.
Uncomputable. Yes.
And that's why you have to take it mini bit by mini
Yes.
bit.
So I will check back in again. I don't know when that's going to be. I know that just so you know what I'm dealing with now, we have me and my siblings. We all make decisions together. We call it the 8I principle. So until everyone agrees, we will discuss. But it's not. There isn't much discussion so far. We have designed a card that we will send to all the important people. We don't have a date for the funeral yet because we need to know how long it takes to ship over the urns. It will probably be in about 4 weeks from now or so, I think, 4 or 5 weeks, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks. So I'm going to have to fly over. I will be there for about 3 weeks. I will stay in my mom's flat. Let's see how that goes. And then I will come back, and I don't know if I'll feel the same. I'll feel relief. If I'll feel completely fucked, I have no idea.
Everything at the same time.
I'm very curious. I'm very curious to see. And if you want, I'll be happy to check in with you again, probably after that. Yeah, if you guys, I don't know, do you have any more questions?
No, Janet said, I just really needed to see that you are doing okay. Sounds like you still have a lot to get through, but you're doing great, taking care of yourself, and that's what's most important.
Yes, thank you, Janet. Yes, I am taking care of myself, and I can't say it often enough. This man is taking care of me so well, and the Lillian is taking care of me so well. They are running the business. They are here for you guys. As I said, on Thursday, we have a massive announcement, and those two are doing everything. They're running the ship, and Lily is having to step up and having all the meetings without me, and she's doing fantastic.
She's doing great.
Yeah, and so I'm really lucky. I'm really grateful to you guys. Taking care of me. I feel very loved by all of you out there, and by my family, by my mom's friends. I wouldn't say I'm doing great, but I am doing great actually, considering what happened and where I'm at in life. So
I see a power,
yeah,
a light shining in you.
yeah.
That is coming.
Yeah. I feel like it's my mom's legacy. I feel like okay, you're gone. I'm gonna fucking step up, baby. Yeah. So and maybe a very quick thing, which I think is a beautiful thing. I started to become a certified ADHD coach, which I decided to do while they were on that trip. So my mom didn't know about it yet. It was a spontaneous decision, as it would be when you have ADHD. And the course started the Monday after they died, but I only knew on Tuesday for sure that they were dead. So So my first class I had was me kind of looking at my phone, waiting, expecting my mom to text me because I hadn't heard from her for a while. So, but this I have been seeing through. I didn't miss a class. Again, you've been very supportive with that.
You're fully committed.
Yeah, I'm very committed. It feels like I mean, the timing is so awkward and it's very hard to concentrate often, but it feels almost like this is born out of this whole thing, you know, and so I'm trying to really see it through. So we'll see how that's going to go, but I thought that's a nice piece of news.
That is wonderful.
You guys see what he's doing? See, that's how can you be sad when you have that?
That's the truth right there.
Yeah.
That's what we've got inside us. All of us.
That's what we all have inside.
I'd love to be doing that right now. Chomping on something.
Oh, God, look at that. Jesus.
Right.
Life is
Great.
simple. Okay, so we'll see you on Thursday. It's going to be a public stream and then a short one, and then we will move into the Patreon stream, which is for patrons only, which will have more bits of information. You will see. It's going to be exciting. I hope you'll all be there. Love you guys. If you don't have any more questions, I will be out. Just lots of hearts I see, and smileys, and goodness. Who is that? Max Thrust.
Max
Thrust. Woohoo!
Yeah, baby.
What is Max Thrust saying? I can't read
I
it.
have become very ill the last 3 years. I've been telling everyone what they have meant to me. It's been helping me have closure as I feel my time is limited now.
Oh, Max. That is beautiful. I mean, it's horrible. It's horrible. I'm really sorry. But I think it's beautiful that you are, that you're doing that. It does make you happy, right? It really opens the heart, and it makes you receive love from the others. So, you know, maybe that will heal you a bit, hopefully, or let you live longer and happier with whatever time you have. Thank you, Max.
Thanks, Max.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody, for being here, and also support each other. Oh, we're stuck. No? Yeah. Support each other, be there for each other, be there for your loved ones, and see you soon. Mwah.